Gervonta "Tank" Davis doesn't just win fights.
And this one is over! Becomes a three-division world champion!
He ends them. Every time he steps into the ring, the crowd holds its breath, waiting for the moment when speed, timing, and raw power collide into a knockout so vicious, it floods highlight reels for months. For opponents, that moment is more than just painful. It's career-altering. And that's why Tank's name is spoken with caution, like a warning. His aura is built on fear. Fear of the left hand, fear of the speed, fear of the unknown moment when he decides the fight is over. He doesn't pressure opponents with endless punches. He pressures them with silence, making them wonder when the hammer will drop. That's the kind of presence that forces fighters to hesitate, promoters to negotiate carefully, and fans to buy tickets in anticipation of destruction. But here's the question. How long can fear alone protect a fighter? In boxing, dominance is never permanent. Legends don't just rise, they get hunted. And right now, Tank Davis is surrounded. Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, hungry champions circling the throne. So today we ask, is Gervonta Davis still the most feared man in boxing? Or is his time at the top already running out? Before he became boxing's boogeyman, Gervonta Davis was just a hungry kid from Baltimore with gloves too big for his frame and dreams too heavy for his city to hold. He grew up in tough surroundings where survival was the first fight you had to win. That background gave Tank more than punching power. It gave him a mentality. Every punch he throws carries the weight of someone who had no other option but to fight. His rise caught fire when he linked up with Floyd Mayweather. Under Mayweather Promotions, Tank wasn't just another prospect. He was groomed as the next pay-per-view attraction. The blueprint was clear. Combine Floyd's promotional genius with Tank's ferocity, and you have a fighter destined to capture the spotlight. And Tank delivered. In 2017, he became one of the youngest champions in the sport when he demolished Jose Pedraza. The message was sent. This wasn't hype, this was real. From there, the knockouts kept coming. Leo Santa Cruz, Mario Barrios, Rolando Romero. One by one, his opponents fell, often in brutal fashion, cementing his reputation as a destroyer. But it wasn't just the knockouts, it was the manner of them. Calm, patient, almost surgical. Tank showed he could bide his time, read his opponents, and then flip the switch with one fight-ending punch. That combination of patience and violence is what built his aura, transforming him from a rising prospect into a fighter opponents quietly avoided. By the time he headlined pay-per-views, Tank Davis wasn't just a boxer. He was a phenomenon. A fighter whose reputation walked into the ring before he did.
What makes Gervonta "Tank" Davis so terrifying isn't just the knockouts, it's the inevitability of them. Fighters can outbox him for rounds, even look comfortable, but deep down, everyone knows they're just buying time until Tank finds his moment. His style is a blend of patience and violence. Unlike brawlers who swing recklessly, Tank waits, calculates, and then unleashes. With one perfectly placed punch, he can erase a fight in seconds. That's why his knockout ratio, over 90%, sits among the highest in the sport. He doesn't need volume, he needs one opening. Just look at Leo Santa Cruz. For 6 rounds, he was competitive, throwing punches in bunches, until one mistake, one opening, and Tank delivered an uppercut that ended the fight instantly. Or Rolando "Rolly" Romero, who boxed confidently until Tank timed a single counter left hand and sent him crashing down. These aren't accidents, they're blueprints of how Tank dismantles confidence, waiting for the one shot that changes everything. And then there's the intimidation factor. Before the first punch is even thrown, opponents carry the weight of his reputation. Watch the body language during his ring walks. Challengers glance at the floor, shoulders tight, eyes shifting. Tank's presence alone gets into fighters' heads. In a sport where confidence is everything, he has a way of making even seasoned veterans look uncertain. The fear extends beyond opponents. Promoters know a fight with Tank means danger for their fighter, which is why negotiations are often tense, drawn out, or avoided altogether. Fans, on the other hand, flock to him because that same danger guarantees entertainment. You don't watch Tank Davis fights expecting 12 careful rounds. You watch them expecting a violent ending. That's why Tank isn't just seen as a champion, he's seen as a problem. A risk, a threat, a nightmare in gloves. For years, Gervonta Davis has been the hunter. But in boxing, time always flips the script. The longer a fighter sits on the throne, the more rivals sharpen their swords. And for Tank, the hunters are already here. The lightweight and super lightweight divisions are stacked with young killers. Devin Haney, the technician who controls fights with precision. Shakur Stevenson, the defensive genius who makes opponents miss by inches. Teofimo Lopez, explosive and unpredictable, capable of shocking the world. Each one believes Tank's aura of invincibility is built on hype, and each one is calling for their shot. The fight that proved both Tank's power and his limits came against Ryan Garcia. Yes, Tank delivered the knockout, a body shot that folded Garcia in half, but for stretches, Ryan's speed and length caused Tank problems. Analysts noticed, fans noticed, and rivals noticed too. For the first time, Tank looked human. Outside the ring, his challenges are just as real. Legal issues, time away from the sport, and distractions have raised questions about his focus. In boxing, discipline isn't optional, it's survival. History shows us that even the most feared fighters can fall when the lifestyle outside the ring collides with the demands inside it. The danger for Tank isn't just one opponent, it's the clock. He's 29 now, and while still in his prime, the margin for error shrinks every year. Younger fighters are hungrier, fresher, less battle-worn. One mistake, one night where timing is off, could turn fear into opportunity for his rivals. So here's the real debate. Is Tank still the man everyone avoids, the boogeyman of boxing? Or has the fear started to fade, replaced by fighters who see cracks in the armor and believe the time to strike is now?
Gervonta Tank Davis has built a career on fear. Fear of his power, fear of his timing, fear of the moment when everything changes with one punch. It's what's made him one of boxing's most electrifying figures, and why so many fans tune in whenever his name is on the poster. But the clock never stops ticking. New challengers are rising, eager to test whether that fear is still enough to keep Tank on top. Devin Haney's precision, Shakur Stevenson's defense, Teofimo Lopez's explosiveness. Each man represents a different kind of danger, and if history tells us anything, it's that no fighter, no matter how feared, can hold the throne forever. So the question remains, is Tank still boxing's nightmare, the man no one dares to face, or is his aura slipping, opening the door for a new king to emerge? One thing's certain, every time Gervonta Davis steps into the ring, the world will be watching. Because love him or doubt him, nobody can ignore him. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit the like button, drop your take in the comments, and subscribe for more deep dives into the sport we love. The fight game never sleeps, and neither do we.